Now we're going to go over a gameplay example. I'm also going to show you an instant replay of the goalkeeper movement so you can see my controllers when I move it and you can see the change. There's quite a few other things that's been made. So like here, I actually can't even get a game. It took me a long time because the patch literally just came out. But look, it's not about the gameplay, but there's a few things I want to talk about. Where is this AI defense being nerfed? There's no mention of AI defense purely being nerfed. I mean, sometimes maybe they don't mean to, but they do a lot of indirect stuff that happens. But with goalkeeper movement, they've said they've adjusted first time shots. Now, for first time shots, you have to also turn this on in your settings. So a lot of people, if you're watching this on assisted, for those that don't know, I actually use precision shooting because I'm obviously recording tutorials for the average player. I record a lot of my content, especially my tutorials, that assisted because you don't actually need precision shooting, but it gives you that benefit. So what they've done is I can see they've greatly removed, basically almost completely removed goalkeeper movement. They removed the rush to center. Apparently now in competitive game mode, goalkeepers can transition faster after catching the ball. But look, if I move the goalkeeper, you can see the goalkeeper barely moves. Look at that. So if I'm anticipating like some sort of through ball, and I've already played a few games of squad battles before this because I couldn't even get a game. But look, if someone tries taking a long shot, for example, like here, or they're here, I can barely move the goalkeeper. You see that? So I think first of all, when you move the goalkeeper, it does, like from a corner, it's completely fine. You're going to see this as well when I show you some clips after this. From a corner, it's completely fine. But when it's an active play, you can see I'm almost fighting with the right analog stick to move the goalkeeper again. So I want to test this goalkeeper movement a bit further. You can see from corners, I'm going to show you now actually in Ultimate Squad Battles, and you can see you can move the goalkeepers normally from a corner. But when the ball is in the air, that's what's interesting. So if I give the ball back to my opponent here, have a look. My goalkeeper is barely moving. Look, do you see that? They're barely moving at all. So it's almost like if you have the ball inside your box, when you move the goalkeeper, you're truly relying on the game to make, the game for you to move the goalkeeper. What I'm saying is you're relying on yourself to defend, and goalkeeper movement is not a last resort anymore. It's almost like the goalkeeper will not move. I'm not really in favor of this. I didn't mind, for example, they take one step and then they halt. Or maybe, for example, if you moved the wrong way, and let's say, for example, someone shot top right and you dived to the left or moved to the left and somehow the goalkeeper saved it, that I understand. That shouldn't happen. But maybe not in the same capacity it is right now. I don't really like it. I'll show you another quick example over here. Have a look on the radar, right? So you can see when the ball is moving, again, we're playing its ultimate. Just because I just wanted to see how, because kind of the shot is also dependent on how AI do it and so on. But look, when the ball gets in my own half, I'm just going to drop back here. But if I move to like top left, for example, you can see it just barely moves. It's like a very slight nudge. If I go into the highlighter and I show you this, now what I did here is I went to the instant replay to see it back. And look, have a look. If I play it in normal time, a bit slower, you see with the goalkeeper, they just basically shift along. They still revert back to the normal position, but you can see you're really having that very small goalkeeper, very minuscule amount of goalkeeper movement here. You can't really go across the post too much, which I think is the right way, but I think maybe they overdone it too much. You know, I'm saying let us do a step, and if we choose that side and we guess right, okay, fine. Maybe 50% chance to make the save. But something like this, I feel like against a long shot, especially a finesse shot outside the box, how would one defend against it? Now, what they've officially said, and you can see they change the goalkeeper movement, and you can see, look here, before that was it, and I think one step will suffice here, but you can see now it's a very minuscule step, and you can see they've also touched the rush to center, and sometimes the goalkeeper could have reacted poorly to first shots. How about that? I don't exactly know in detail. Corners is fine. I think that's a good thing because we know there's currently a corner glitch inside the game. But I've got Schmeichel, and I wanted to get him as well because he's got the far throw. So the idea is, it says here, goalkeepers can now transition faster after catching a ball. So let's just do a little bit of a trick. So we're going to say this. Okay, I don't really notice that much the difference in transition. I'm going to double check this. So if I go at this, and I'm just going to trigger that player there, head the ball back. I'm just trying to play the ball to. Okay, so maybe it's a bit faster. I just wanted to see, for example, like especially with Schmeichel as well. And you can see that there. I tried to move the goalkeeper, albeit a bit too late. Just to show you a bit of an example of what you can get away with. So what's weird now is if I'm expecting some sort of finesse shot, I feel like I'm going to be in trouble. So we go over to the highlighter here. You can see it was very last minute, but you can see like here, at this point, I tried to move the goalkeeper, but you see, it's kind of like, even if you try, I tried to do it last minute because remember the timing is only one step. So if you time it incorrectly and you move too early, you almost can't move the goalkeeper after that. So you have to wait for just before the shot has been hit. I was probably a couple of frames too late here. And you see my goalkeeper's now flailed into the opposite direction. Are you sick and tired of losing FC26? Do you want to win more games where you can come to my FC26 school series? Now, don't forget, we also have a Black Friday offer that's 20% off. Enter the code Friday at checkout for 20% off. And don't forget, let's say even with 20% off, if you don't get better, we will refund your money after 1 month. Think about how much time you wasted going through YouTube videos. And you see, even on my YouTube channel, everything's a bit of a random order. But in an FC school, everything is in a structured format where you learn one thing and it progresses. So whether you're an elite player, a Division 10 player, or you never played this game before, you will learn something. We've got everything from the basics, the novices of gameplay, all the way to the pro stuff, the meta mechanics, what all the pro players are using, how they're using those through balls. For example, we've got a video on the through balls. We've got videos on first time shots. All of this before it became the meta. We went through all of this and you can learn this right now to improve your gameplay. Now, not only are you saving your own time, you're also saving your money. For less than the price of a Nando's meal nowadays, think about this. How much money have you spent on FP points? Has a team made you better? We show you how to be good with the most basic and cheapest teams because that's all you need. That is why pros are using players like Peanut. It's the most effective players inside the game. You only spend any more money on FP points. You just need to learn how to play the game. Links down below in the description. Don't forget, enter the code Friday for 20% off. And if you don't get better after 1 month, we will refund your money. So no guys guarantee. Links down below in the description. Patreon.com/NeilGuys. In my opinion, was not needed. The extreme severity of this, because there's certain things, I think, for example, when you go inside the box, look, I think I have a contrasting opinion compared to what people think. I think goalkeeper movement should be a thing. I don't think it should be like FIFA 19 or crazy level where it was needed against those first-time shots, but first-time shots are a viable thing. If first-time shots still exist, and this is just recording the lower division, but if first-time shots still exist, it's important we have some sort of defense mechanic against it. Like, you know, if someone has the ball over here, that was a terrible aim. But if someone has the ball there, if you anticipate it, or maybe you're trying to defend an angle, or let's say a finesse shot, let's say you're outside the box, someone does a finesse shot, we know how effective finesse shots are outside the box. So does that mean now, like if someone's in this position, like let's say with the goalkeeper, look, it's barely a movement. So I'm just going to anticipate the shot. I'm waiting for the player to move here. I'll be honest, I think goalkeeper movement is completely done. I don't really like this. I'll be honest, I think this is too much. I think, although I don't use it that much, goalkeeper movement, maybe not as crazy as other people do use it, but I feel like in those certain situations where you had goal, like it's in real life, if your opponent is defending a near post angle, right? Let's say your opponent is let's say your opponent is going towards a near post angle. You do have, in real life, people do move their goalkeeper. I'll explain to you what I mean, right? So let's say, for example, like here. Let's say, for example, like here, this near post angle was covered, for example. Let's say Van der Ven was a bit closer to Ahmad. Then in real life, a goalkeeper might take that one step to the right-hand side. Whereas now I feel like the goalkeeper movement, you have to guess so much more earlier. And you see, like, here, I just done it just to see early on in the phase. It takes so long. So if you make a mistake, it takes so long for the goalkeeper to recover as well. So if you want to then do the goalkeeper movement after, you don't really have that option. Something that I don't really like. They've changed some other things. They've also changed some drag back. So they slightly increased the transition speed when following up a drag back with another skill move. So let's have a quick look at this. So if I do a drag back, I need someone's got a 5-star skill at least. Or let's do, I got an idea. Let's do here. And if I did, for example, I'm just going to run one away. Okay, interesting. Because I use a drag back like this to go away inside the box. And I'll be honest, the drag back itself, they haven't said anything. Maybe it's just my eyes. Again, I'll have to do some further testing. It's just first impressions. But the drag back looks like a frame quicker. Like, because before the drag back used to go bam, and then it's to halt a little bit and then completely turn over. You see? So it's like halt there at one frame. But I feel like they removed it. They haven't mentioned it, but it looks like they removed it anyway. So then they have done that. Okay, so I don't really know. To be honest, I don't really do a skill move, traditionally speaking, after the drag back. What I'll do is I have another version of the game on another console, which haven't updated the game yet. Because I have an account in every single division, and I will go ahead and now test that out. I don't know what that was over there. But that's very interesting. Now, they've done something with set pieces. So user-controlled players can be unresponsive during set pieces. Is that after that? In some rare cases, an offside call could be made to an incorrect player. It seems like my opponent's trying to do the same thing here. This is done in a lower division, but it's not that low where this guy doesn't know how to play. I think it's like in Division 5, whatever, on my ult. I'm going to be honest. And then passing, they slightly decreased the accuracy of heading passes. That's going to be very hard to test. And they lower the cross trajectory height to reduce the amount of crosses that were in the air too long. They've addressed cases where the secondary teammate containment indicator was appearing incorrectly during possession. I want to be honest, like I thought they were going to completely nerf or make some adjustments to AI defending. I mean, is there another patch coming out now? Maybe in a few days' time? I'm not too sure. If you go into high crosser, I'm not really much of a crosser, but let me just do a high cross. And to be honest, that's just someone that really knows what they're talking about. To be honest, that one, I have to do a bit more testing. I have to ask someone, an expert in crossing. I am by no means an expert in crossing at all. As you guys know, I don't even cross. I hate crossing. But it's very interesting. So let's say you were to rotate the ball here. And we're going to go for a first time shot here. I mean, that wasn't even the best of shots. That was actually not. But the goalkeeper looked pretty insane. It looks like my player's done that Marma Dashvili, that evolution, I think. That wasn't the best of shots here. He didn't even move the goalkeeper. Well, it was actually a decent shot, but the goalkeeper was already positioned in that place. So maybe not. I thought the goalkeeper was a bit more central, because what they've said is, for like first time shots, what they've said is, they've addressed an issue with goalkeepers because sometimes reacted poorly. Now, this is sometimes reacted poorly. So I don't think they've actually nerfed first-time shots here. I'll do some further testing, but I don't even think they've nerfed first-time shots here, which is what I thought they were going to do. It does actually feel a bit awful, considering it's 11 o'clock in the morning and most people are at school and work. I'll ask this player to take some finesse shots. So, I mean, like, I think with goalkeeper movement now, I feel like if you're going to do it, you have to be like from the corners, we know it's fine. But I think in general play, you have to be 1000% that a player is going to be moving into an angle. Otherwise, personally, I feel that it's nerfed way too much beyond any means. I don't even think this was required. I think a slight nerf would have been fine. But why did they have to go? You know what's interesting? They wouldn't go to one extreme when it comes to AI defending or increasing the width of your defensive line or anything like that. But when it comes to, for example, like goalkeeper movement, they would just go to complete one extreme, or do a complete 180 and do a goalkeeper movement nerf that I don't think anyone, I think even people that use goalkeeper movement or maybe were against it, wouldn't even want it to be this bad. One thing I want to talk about was problems. So I'm going to have to do some way more testing behind the scenes. Obviously, it's just the first impression. So I want to go into a lot of these games and literally just let the opponent come towards me and start shooting so I can start testing things out. What's absolutely crazy, though, guys, is that I'm worried that there's going to be a lot of indirects. And what I mean by that is... This goalkeeper didn't even move that much there. What I mean by that is I'm worried that there's going to be a lot of people that play even more defensive because of goalkeeper movement. This is the problem with patches. So although, for example, a patch might not change something in gameplay, the problem is that let's say when you're playing the game normally, one big problem is that if something comes out, let's say it's some sort of attack that gets buffed, or let's say some sort of goalkeeper movement that gets nerfed, what happens is indirectly, a lot of people, they start playing more defensive because they think X or Y is overpowered. So I feel like because defense is already overpowered, I understand the reduction in goalkeeper movement, but I feel like it's maybe just an extreme, maybe just a bit too much, personally speaking. This is one thing that I think I worry about. So in this first impression, look, I hope this is not the pure December patch. I'm expecting there's some sort of other patch that's going to be coming out here. I mean, first time shots, that was a bad one. It doesn't look like it's been nerfed. I was just looking on Twitter. I know no one's really playing the game right now. It's very recent. But like, I don't think like it's, you know, it's first time shots like nerfed. I don't think it is. You're still able to do first time shots. My opponent keeps tackling every single time I get a chance. But anyway, look, I hope this video just give you a bit of an insight. So yeah, I don't know what my opinion is on this. I feel like there was no need. They needed to adjust other things like goalkeeper movement in a different way. I feel like AI defense was way too overpowered. They needed to address that. But they haven't done any of that. And they've done things like, you know, the overhead kick we saw it used on the pro scene. They've not nerfed that. They've known that's been an issue for quite a long time, yet they've not nerfed it. So this is a big thing that you need to understand. That's AI defending. I'm not even pressing the controller there. That's AI defending. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. But this is a big problem inside the game. So I'm just going to do some more testing. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. Don't forget, if you want to get better FC20, you come to my Patreon. So it's patreon.com/nilguys. Links down below in the description. It looks like first time shots have still not been nerfed. So this video that I made, a complete elite tutorial, it wasn't made recently. It was actually made in October, where I explained to you the theory of it, how to do it, and I explain to you the difference in precision and assisted. And I show you, for example, how to do those first time shots as well. This link for that is down below in the description. Don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, we will refund your money. That's the Nil Guys guarantee. We've got the whole meta mechanics. And of course, we have so many other videos as well, including the FC26 school, real life examples, and of course, gameplay example. You can use the code Friday for Black Friday deals. Still going on right now. We're going to extend it. You can use the code Friday at checkout for 20% off and to learn FC26 in a structured format. And of course, you've got my trading as well. So let's say you like, you know what, I want to make some coins. Of course, an elite tier, we've got my trading tier as well. If you want to learn trading from a top 100 trader, know when to buy, who to buy, and at what time, keep everything easy. And of course, analysis and so many other videos. Links down in the description. Use code Friday at checkout for 20% off. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace.